Yo, it's Monday night, the lights shine bright. Chubby and Johnny bring it the insight. We recap the show, every slam and every throw. In the ring, all the drama, just let it flow. Sit, fight, let's break it down raw. Monday Night Raw, we're running like a clock. Chubby and HotBody, we're ready to rock. In the square circle, nothing's ever the same. Breaking down the action, we're playing the game. From high-flying moves to the heavyweight brawls, hear the crowd roar as the superstars fall. Chubby's got the laughs, Johnny brings the heat. With every punchline, we roll face and feet. We're the kings of the bottom, hear the crowd lights. Monday Night Raw, we're running like a clock. Chubby and HotBody, we're ready to rock. In the square circle, nothing's ever the same. Breaking down the action, we're playing the game. So tune in next week, keep it locked on the show with Chubby and Johnny. You already know.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday night to you and yours. Look at that big smiling face of Mr. HotBodies. You put the glasses back on.
You know why? Because I felt like a drunk. I'm so used to my glasses without them, the room spinning, and I know that trick holding your leg over the side of the bed don't work, so I might puke all over. As a matter of fact, I'm still puking after the taste of WrestlePalooza in my mouth. Let me tell you something. If these people don't feel like they've been taken in a dark alley by now, they're not listening to Johnny HotBody. They're listening to every other WrestleMania and James Romero and that Dutch Dirty Dope Mantel and whoever else they're listening to, pumping the bullshit that the WWE is the best thing going. The $30 is worth it. The $15 is worth it. The $24 is worth it. Let me ask you a question. If you're charging $30 for a pay-per-view, how much you think they're making on top with the commercials that ran okay, and then you're going to say, well, at least the commercials weren't in the middle of the match. No, they were plastered all over the ring.
At least they positioned them
over the ring. You know what I mean? And you had the commentators. You had that moron Pat no good McAfee who's down on his knees. I don't get that guy, man. I don't know. I know he's an ESPN blowhard, and part of them getting a deal had to be his shyster working his way in on the back end, getting a note for pushing hard behind the scenes. But as it seems, ESPN isn't happy with the crap they're shoving down their throat. That's for sure.
Well,
A C+ rating. They're lucky. Listen, I gave it a rating of F, and it was a rating that was stuck inside a urinal.
I have not heard. Well, I was gonna say I have not heard.
A good thing about that, the best thing about it was it ended.
Well, I was going to say, I have not heard one person say they enjoyed it, but that's wrong because...
Well, no, you got Mike Ferreira, who's in the crowd tonight, who's going to say it was the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah, Magic Mike did say he did enjoy
Magic Mike. That dude,
PLA.
let me ask you a question. What kind of magic does he do?
Right now, it looks like to be a disappearing act because he's not here yet.
Yeah, and you know what else? I think he's hiding in a closet with what's his name, Jimmy Hart and Tom Cruise and John Travolta. They're all pushing their way in the closet, and Mike's the one pushing them in it,
Oh boy, oh
and he's
boy.
not using his hands.
Well, I will say this before we get started and get into the comments because um, our good boy Gianni, our good brother, he already said it, but he's absolutely right. And Gianni didn't even really get a chance to watch the show yet, but I gotta say, the whole something as I was watching tonight, I said to myself, the other night was and the word I used was flatlined. It was like a dead heartbeat, no pulse from the whole locker room. It just was an off. They're like nobody like fucking seemed on. Tonight, everybody seemed on. The locker room seemed alive. And honestly, the opening match fucking blew away everything to do with Saturday night tonight. And I can't even wait to just say what the opening match was. I mean,
Hold
Johnny.
on a minute, though. Before we even get into that, I want to ask you a question. Did you
Okay.
see the face on Liv Morgan in the photos when they were told they had to go to Saudi Arabia? They had pictures and
I
Liv.
saw a picture.
Okay, well they had pictures of it was Liv Morgan. She was in the pictures there with a bunch of the other ones that are had the same look on their face.
Yeah,
It was
disgusting.
like they were being held prisoners at Saddam Hussein's camp with guns to their head.
Mhm.
That they are all afraid for their lives and they're being forced to go overseas. I got news for you. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't be happy about it. The money they're making, where's the rewards that the wrestlers are reaping for all the money that this Mark Shapiro is putting in his pocket? Where's the reward at for these wrestlers who are, well, I take that back. They're not wrestlers. They say it's not wrestling, so you tell me what they are. I think they're a bunch of puppets from Circus Soleil. Somebody's got their hands up all their asses, and they're doing things that they don't want to do.
Well,
A lot of the stars. Let's put it this way: if you're not the main talent and you're just everybody else in that locker room, which is a lot, you think you're as happy as the main guys?
no, I mean, I don't think anybody is really truly happy about going over there to do the shows they got to do there. Um,
The women
and
aren't welcome there truly.
exactly, exactly. So it's got to be especially tougher on them to try to perform up to their level that they normally do.
And who's going to protect them? Look what happened to that girl. I'm sorry, I lose her name on the tip of my tongue, but I bring her up because she was supposed to be protected on a United States base, and she was raped, and then
Oh
she
yeah,
died.
yeah,
What was her name? Desaro, I think. Desaro or
Ashley.
Ashley, yeah, and it's a
Yeah.
shame because that beautiful girl went there with the trust that they were going to look out for her. I don't think they looked out for her. Stephanie McMahon wasn't concerned about her, that's for sure. She actually was one of the ones that tried to bury the story,
Hmm.
and that's a girl picking up for another girl.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's a
But
whole nother
anyway,
story
I
and
know
another
you
whole
want to.
show.
I know we're about to talk about the Down Dirty show that I'm watching right now because I didn't want to pay for Netflix, and Erica was like, "Listen, you need Netflix. You know, you and Chubby do a show. You've got people watching yous, and so right now, in the corner of my eye, I'm watching the worst promo in promo history. That Dusty Rhodes is going to try to charm paint off a wall so it could actually buy a ticket to the next pay-per-view that they promise you is going to be better than the last pay-per-view. That's what we're calling them now, right? Pay-per-views. They're not on Peacock no more, and
Well,
they're
there's still
not on Cock
PLEs.
anymore. They left the Cock, and now they're not calling them PLEs. If you're charging
Well, they're not.
$30 a month
It's
to
it's
see them,
yeah, but it's still they were charging whatever $12 a month on
well,
Peacock. It's the same thing.
listen, you're still getting robbed. I believe that it's not going to be too long before, like I said, they're going to go plundering under, and they're going to need Vince back. As a matter of fact, all over the internet, people are begging for Vince to come back. They're ready to trash Vince. There's comments, quit now while it's ahead, triple nose.
Well, I would be very, very curious. I have not seen any numbers come out yet, but I would love to know what the finalized rating numbers for the WrestlePalooza was compared to the last month's last venture on Peacock to see how big of a drop off it was, or if a drop off, if any.
All right, we'll take that. If there's a drop off at Eddie, well, it's not going to be the first month that the drop off would be shown, because I happen to know something about the way the ratings work. Okay, a lot. Actually, I know a lot more, and you know what I'm talking about. I'm not allowed to disclose these things, but if you're looking at the ratings, the way they work, there's one person that holds a control to Nielsen. And for each person in that household, it's accredited to 20,000 viewers per a square mile. I'm allowed to disclose how ratings work if I know this. I don't say how I know this. I'm just saying exactly how it works. Okay. So if there's four people in the house, and four people aren't watching wrestling, and they're watching, let's say, CNN News, there's 20, 40, 60, 80,000 people in that square that are not watching wrestling. They're watching news. So right there, by those numbers, percentage wise, it's a failure. It's a total failure. Not that many people watch wrestling. As one idiot said, wrestling is a dying sport. It's entertainment they're looking for. And I argue right back to that idiot. I watched AEW and I was totally entertained, so much that I was sitting on the edge of my seat. I seen the first 10, I'm telling you, a 10-star rating of a match with the Rainmaker and Dorada and Masca Dorada, Tashika Okada, and Tashada, I think his name is. I may say
I feel like
Tashaka.
I feel like I'm in an Indian restaurant over there.
No, you're actually we're talking about the AEW card with the first match with the Mark Briscoe match and MJF match alone. That was one of the greatest matches also. There were 2 10-star matches on that AEW, and Mark Briscoe MJF happened to be one of them. It was a pure out brawl. It was everything that WWE isn't. It's professional wrestling and entertaining. I have yet to be entertained by anything I've seen in the WWE, whatever you want to call it. And this idiot that's coming down, Grayson Waller, I don't get Grayson Waller, never will, just because he's from Australia and went to school with what's her name, Rhea Ripley. I still don't believe he's a talent in the main roster. I'm sorry, he's a mid Carter at best. He belongs with the Miz, and the Miz. No matter how much they try to shove him down my throat, he's a mid Carter. You know it, man. He's a mid Carter, and there's people that definitely like him. Yeah, that's cool. Here's Larry. You asked Larry what he thought about that pay per view or whatever PLE, whatever that piece of crap that they shoved down your throat. Wrestle the Fool is. You're a fool if you bought that as wrestling because they tell you it's not from the door. And as far as tonight go, you could tell me about all these matches. I'm watching them now. I caught the last match, and we could get into it.
All right, let's
say hi to everybody. I would love to say hi to our audience.
There you go. All right, what up, Larry? Larry in the house. Gianni, good evening, my brothers. Raw was better than the PLE this weekend. I only paid $10 for that. All right, Larry says Raws are better than premium lame events. Apparently, yeah, they are. Yeah,
Larry,
they are.
That's not every week though, Larry, because we have sat here quite a number amount of weeks, and we have not given Raw any great ratings. That's for sure.
Not in the last few weeks.
Yeah, and not for nothing. This is the way it usually works. They have one good after everything week, and then everything falls off the ratings again.
All right, Gianni says, "Don't worry, the care package of runs and Pepto is on the way, bro." He also says Mike is on a pretty awesome magic beans as far as the wrestling goes. Laugh out loud. I love you, Mike. Michelle says, "Hey guys, and yes, nobody wants to go to Saudi Arabia, and I thought poor Liv was going to start crying at that press conference." Larry says wrestlers aren't making big money for going to dangerous places the same way soldiers don't get big money to go to dangerous places. It's sad, but the rich get richer by using people below them. That's a powerfully true statement right there.
That is absolutely true, Larry, and it's a shame, but it holds true. But I don't think Vince McMahon would do this. You know, Vince McMahon did this with you, man. You made money with Vince, and he never told you how much you were going to make. All he told you was you were going to make money, and you got paid by the house and the gate. So let's say they're charging, which they are charging, $15,000 a seat for Las Vegas next. What is it? Next WrestleMania, right? That's what it is, WrestleMania. By that thing, you figure the average they're going to make it close to over a couple $1 million. That's for sure. Now split that with the guys. Vince would.
Yeah, well, it's a whole new world. There she is, Nikki Scrow. What up, Nicole? She says, "Howdy, all." And Gianni, I meant turns, not runs. Well, when I saw Pepto, the runs sound more. Oh, Tums, not runs.
Tums.
Oh boy, oh boy. All right, so show started off, and I actually. I don't know what the hell my thing was not connected correctly, and I was trying to figure it out, and I missed like the first 10 minutes. So I missed Cody talking. I didn't get mine up and running until Seth actually made his entrance, and it was kind of interesting. As I caught from that point on, it was probably better that I missed the first 10 minutes of Cody journeying on, but the interaction back and forth of the two of them I enjoyed. And made me actually like, all right, like I want to see these two work at this, crown jewel. I'm intrigued, and I've seen them work. Yeah, I mean, we've seen them work, but I'm also happy and intrigued. It doesn't involve Punk. It doesn't involve Roman. It doesn't involve LA Knight. It's out of the circle. We're doing something a little different, and I'm intrigued and excited for it.
is intrigued and excited you are for it. Can you truly expect there not be some form of action by the rest of the division? Um, Seth hasn't been winning his matches by actually doing them himself. He's been needing some outside interference as of lately, even to have his wife cover for him a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, we've seen this. And I don't think we're going to get anything much more than what we've been getting out of the matches as of late. It seems that nothing new. The way the wrestling works, Chubb, and you know this, and you being in the game, every match you did, you tried to do something different to make yourself at least be better match each time. And
Mm-hmm.
there's none of that that goes on. Each match is the same. And we witnessed that on this past weekend, and we've witnessed it many other weeks that the matches are the same. How many times are you going to see, for example, Lyra Valkyrie, her matches, or Bailey and her? They're nothing but the same things. Even endings that they're using, they're endings that they used before. I mean, um, I know the angles are relatively the same.
Yeah.
No matter
I mean,
what goes.
it's like a circle. It seems to do. They do. It's like they really do. Like tonight's show and the pattern for the last few Raws. They take stuff and they re-pattern it for the next week, and it's just kind of rehash boring stuff over and over.
It falls short for me. I'll tell you what I mean by this too. And I'm not on a comparison, and I'm not on a bashing. But as of late, I have something to compare it with because there's a product out there that's giving it a run for its money, and you
Hmm.
know this.
Hmm.
When I watch, maybe it's me. When I've been watching Collision and I've been watching Dynamite to that other organization, the time goes by so quick. The matches are great, and every one of them has been entertaining. The storytelling, it's cool, man, to hear storytelling about a history of matches, about their records and where they come from and what they've done. And the match, the stories that go on here, the matches, every single one of them are the same. Whether it's New Day right now, you got the big guy going to the top. We're going to see two guys suplex him off the top. Come on, man! How many times are we going to see these matches where the WWE cannot give you nothing, anything new? The wrestlers go to a school where everyone's learning from the same characters, and they're not learning anything but the same. Every single one of these guys, they're not experiencing it or learning the way we did on we had to wrestle. We we worked, man. We worked our asses off to get spots on. And guess what? Okay, they weren't the production of a WE, but I can guarantee you this: our matches were a hell of a lot better. TWA matches were a hell of a lot better.
No, I'm not going to argue with that. Um, where am I at here? All right, so let me run through this real quick. Jeannie's in the house. What up, Jeannie? She says hello, guys.
Hello, Jeannie, again. I get to see you, or you get to see me.
Michelle says Cody didn't get to talk too much. He did not.
Thank God Cody doesn't talk too much. Yeah, he's as boring as it gets.
Larry says $900 for a seat. I'll need binoculars to see them as ants wrestling. Fight traffic, buy expensive crap food, get a hotel, spend about $5 grand total, and for what? Say I was there? Yeah,
And let's
I
say
I
Larry
agree.
had two kids and your
Exactly,
wife.
exactly. Jeannie says she has zero interest in Cody versus Seth. Okay.
Neither do I.
Larry says, I agree with Johnny. Way too many repeated spots. It's like a video game from the early 90s. They can just do 4 moves in their finisher. It's true. That is absolutely true. And Gianni says, you know who WWE needs to bring in for WWE Make Wrestling again? That's Jim Cornette. Yeah, that'll shake things up. Wishful thinking, huh? Yeah, but it will never happen. Jimmy doesn't want to be bothered. They'd have to pay him an awful lot to come out of his house.
So you get Penta, in a match tonight, and Penta's working with Grayson Waller, and he's working with 2 of the best in tag team, and you get the same moves from Penta as he did the last few weeks with everybody else.
I will say, this opening match that Johnny is watching right now, I thought was fucking great. I thought it was well put together. It hit it had fucking so many fucking high points to it that
The Mexican driver off the top rope.
beautiful, fucking beautiful. But
Grayson
leading
Waller
up to
got
that,
hurt in that.
did he?
Yes, he did. He's holding the back of his neck.
It worked its way up. The whole storyline of that match, it was the slow build and just caught fire. And every fucking turn, there was a fucking everything they did popped the crowd. They had more pops in that match than they did all of Saturday night.
Well, at least the table broke correctly.
How about that? Right? Even
Does
though
it say
the
Slim
fucking
Jim
camera
on it though? Does it say
Yep,
Slim
it
Jim on it
does.
though? Come on,
It
man.
does. It
And
does.
it's
They
a Slim
signed
Jim in the center of the ring too.
they signed that fucking deal 6 months ago. But and when Kofi jumped off the top to the outside to put Penta through the table, the camera angle, they fucking missed it.
You know, this Grayson Waller's laying in the ring holding his neck. And he's holding his neck in the same exact spot that my neck is so jacked right now with bulging disc. It seems like he's suffering from a little bit of pain in that area. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets some time off with probably a minor concussion.
I mean, at this point, nothing would surprise me.
Listen, let me ask you a question. So in the WE, they have outlawed the pile driver.
Mm-hmm.
Why does this scumbag get to do that move, which is worse than a pile driver? It's literally getting slammed down on the back of your neck. There's no protection of the spinal column whatsoever. How does this scumbag get away with doing that?
Why are?
But a pile driver is not allowed.
Why does a half dozen people on the roster get to use basically the same move, but a different variation of it, and not a pile driver? I think that's lame. And why
do they kick out of these moves when someone else is using them 2 matches before while they're pinning 1 match later?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Now, what were you going to say, Chubb? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, you're right though. But no, what I was going to say is why I still don't understand why the fuck a pile driver's outlawed. Why they outlaw a pile driver, but if it's a no DQ match or no holds barred or a Donnybrook, whatever they want to fucking name it, then a pile driver's allowed. Makes no sense.
Well, pile driver was outlawed, but yet a tombstone pile driver, which is worse because that's the style that put Steve Austin out of commission. It was a tombstone pile driver, and that's the same pile driver that D'Lo Brown put on the kid that just passed away, Draws. There's a lot of things that you question in this business, how they go on. Certain guys get away with the shit they do.
It's true. I will say this too, and I know Johnny will not like this comment, but I'm going to add to this. watching tonight again, I've stated week in and week out, I am a fan of Penta, even though I feel his matches are the same fucking thing over and over. But I think they are missing the boat with this guy because he is so fucking over, and they could market him and let him go to 6 moves. Don't stop him at 4. Let him do 6, maybe even 7 on a good day. And I think that guy is a main eventer. I'm sorry, but I do.
I give him the same amount of chance as a main eventer as Jimmy Uso. You know, these guys come in, they get all this hype behind them. You give them the chance, and they drop it. Penta is nowhere near the star of the Ultimate Warrior, nor does he have the appeal of the Ultimate Warrior. But yet, you think he has the appeal enough to give him a title where he doesn't even have enough moves in his repertoire to even know the difference between a wristwatch and a wrist lock.
No, I think you're wrong there. I think you're
No,
wrong there.
I don't think I'm wrong, man. I think this is what he's got. These moves, from what I've watched now and everything I've seen, the tag team that made him famous, his brother, does 80 to 90% of the workload.
Hmm. All right. Well, speaking of main event Jey Uso, there was also a segment that I skipped over because Johnny is watching the opening match.
I'm past
Backstage.
the opening match. Now they're bringing out my girl, Stephanie Valkyr, who you're in love with. You see stars, you slobber, your mouth opens, you drool, and yet you think it's only for Carlo Rossi.
Well, there was the backstage segment with the Usos, and Jimmy said to Jay, "I want my rematch with the Bronze," and he said, "Oh, sorry, Us, but I already made a match for tonight against LA Knight." So, whole lot of Usos going on there. Jimmy's not happy. Jay's not happy. They're not happy with each other. They're not happy with situations. What's going to happen, Us?
They're going to turn heel.
Know.
I see them joining up the bloodline, rehashing the bloodline. You know that Roman's going to come back from filming. You're going to see the slobber guy with the, what's his name, Werewolf. I'm telling you, you're about to get bloodline down your throat. You really are.
That's ridiculous.
And let me ask you something. If the Usos were such main events and so good as baby faces, they're going to turn them heels because they were 10 times better as heels when they were working as a tag team. And it's the only thing that they could do.
I think it would be a dumb move at turning them heel. It's so stupid.
Chubb, do you know how hard it is to be a babe, to really be a face in this world today?
Yeah.
I mean, they gave him the title, and it didn't put asses in the seat. He fumbled. He trips over his words as much as he trips over his shoelaces.
He does.
Every week, you got to worry about him busting his own head up. Oh, he busted his head. He has a concussion. He might not be able to work. You know, I remember a time when wrestlers worked 300 and something days on the road a year, and they didn't cry about getting busted open or cracking a fingernail. How about Bianca Belair? How long is she going to be out with a broken finger? I mean, for real, man. What does her finger have to do with professional wrestling? Is she sticking it up Triple H's ass?
All right. Well, Michelle says, "Hey, Jeannie, how about them birds?" And Jeannie says, "Go birds." Gianni says, I think that's all he's allowed to do for insurance purposes in regards to Penta, Johnny, because he has more than that in his arsenal.
Well, if he has more than that in his arsenal, so far what I've seen in his arsenal, I think he puts the talent he's working with at risk at most. I don't see him as a talented enough worker where he has the interest to protect the worker he's working against. He fumbles his moves. Lots of times these guys are landing on the back of their neck. I'm watching his matches. I don't see him as anything more than an insurance policy risk.
Larry says every week Penta does the Mexican Destroyer, and the commentators act like he killed the opponent. We all know it's going to be a kick out, especially since it's a minute into the match.
And how many are you going to see before you actually get the pin? How many are you going to see before he hurts somebody? And I'm not saying that to be funny, man. I'm saying that as someone who's looking out for the boys.
Hey.
Excuse me? You froze up.
Huh? Yeah, my fucking connection's fucked up. Let me see here. All right, Gianni says, you guys remember when the DDT was a devastating move back in the day? God, please go back to that wrestling. Yeah.
Jake the Snake would put one on you. He'd pin you. Then 10 minutes later, Sting would put one on you and you kick out. The DDT was an overrated move, but I understand you, Gianni. It was a killer move when it was first used. Just like the first time that the figure four was used by Nature Boy Buddy Rogers, who invented the move.
Larry Jester says Gianni and the super kick, power bomb, and Razor's Edge. Yeah, that's basically a full match right there. It's like wash, rinse, and repeat.
I've been saying this, man.
Gianni says, B, I agree. He has money from the merch to the entrance to the work in the ring. WWE shit in the bed. Exactly. I think they could, if they properly give him a go and market him, they would. You saw his entrance. All them fucking kids in the front row with all them fucking masks that they're charging these parents $100 a pop for, and they're buying them up. They give him this spectacular entrance with the fucking spin wheel, the fire, and everything. He's over. He's fucking over. Just let him work. Michelle says, hey, Johnny, she's gorgeous. Everyone drools over Stephanie Valkyrie. Larry says, quite a few moves used to be hyped up, and the announcers would act like they were devastating. Now they're just transitional. Yeah, they're now just a setup for a super kick.
Do you think that hurts professional wrestling?
Of course.
Are you going to talk about this promo with Brock Lesnar and John Cena?
Do I have to? Now you're way ahead. You're way ahead.
That's good. I'm getting a little bit of base on you, you know. So.
There you go. Gianni says Mr. Yeet needs cue cards because it's bad. Yeah,
I think the cue cards are for the audience to applaud. It's like a game show.
Yeah. Eric Efron, what's up, my brother?
Hello,
says very
Eric.
disappointed they didn't give Drew the championship. Yeah,
I totally agree with you. I do not get this, Cody. All right, everybody's like, oh, he's going to turn heel. I don't think he could turn. I don't think he could do anything but turn stomachs at the rate he's going. A heel wouldn't change it. He's still boring. I think he needs to go back to Stardust.
Wow. Eric also says, after the nonsense that happened Saturday and tonight, wrestling will never be the same.
Oh, man.
Michelle says, or a spear, laugh out loud. I'm thinking she's replying to Mr. Yeet needs. Jeannie says apparently ESPN wasn't happy with the PLE. Nope, they gave it a very generous C+. plus rating or a C rating, something like that. Yeah.
The rating of a C plus was not anything compared to the scathing mouthing of a whiplash that the people that are in charge gave it.
Yeah. And they, we didn't talk about it the other night, but they did at one time put the camera on and introduce the head of ESPN, who was sitting front row with like his kids or whatever. So
I believe they left on the second or third match.
I was gonna say, did they leave before or after Pat McAfee left?
They were gone.
Yeah.
I think they were gone after the beating that the kids were all crying and everything on.
Oh, after Brock destroyed Cena. All right, so we had a backstage segment, Judgment Day. Judgment Day is always in the exact same backstage segment each week. It's
Could I
usually
ask you a
second
question
one.
before we go on to that? And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was just thinking about this. Could it be that John Cena and McIntyre lost their matches because they were at Vince McMahon's party? And somebody's not happy with them? If you're a Vince McMahon guy, that is a problem. And apparently you can't stop the Undertaker from doing what he wants to do.
I
So
was going to say, yeah, but
him
Taker
riding
was
it.
there. Taker's
Yeah,
always around with Vince.
yeah, but they're not going to try to stir a pot with Undertaker. Look, man, he had Mickey James fired so he could move his slut into her job. I mean, his wife into her job.
Yeah, interesting. I don't know. That's a good point about the people that were in attendance. There was quite a few people in attendance from the current regime.
Well,
we'll
let's
say.
see what they do. Let's see what they do with the Miz also.
Nothing. They haven't done nothing with him in 2 years.
But they might put him on TV just to beat him because he was there.
They let him do commercials and get paydays. All right, so Judgment Day backstage. Dom is scared and upset about the whole Rusev situation, so he's trying to get Finn to help him. And Finn is too busy playing his video game and doesn't want to be bothered. And then he turns around and talks to JD and says, "Oh, great, because I already got you a match tonight against Rusev."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. Rusev and Dom. I think it's going to be a great match. I know it doesn't sound like much, but I seen Rusev's his ability, and he's a worker. He's there to help these guys look good, and I think he's going to make Dom look great.
I'll tell you what, I can't wait for you to see the match with him and JD tonight because it was phenomenal.
Well, without even saying it, I'm telling you right now, what I know of Rusev, the man is an incredible worker. He's such an incredible worker. And JD, he's working with JD tonight. I seen that segment in the locker room. I have it on low. Yeah, that match will be probably the best match of the night.
Up next, then we had another backstage segment, Bailey and Lyra backstage, and Bailey's in her happy, positive mood, all excited, all pumped up, and talking things up, and Lyra's a little confused. I think the whole angle and everything that Bailey's doing is great. She seems rejuvenated. And then they go about their business, and Stephanie Valkyrie walks by on her way to go to Krill position to go out for her introduction, in which then Adam Pearce brings her out. Stephanie Valkyrie comes out, says hello to the crowd, waves to the crowd, thanks everybody for being behind her, and they introduce her father again, and she especially thanks everybody for welcoming her tears the other night. So it was a very nice little feel-good moment for Stephanie.
I told you I've liked her from the first time I've seen her. She is a superstar. She is a very, very extremely talented worker. And as of what I've been discussing is the workload that the responsibility that the girls have taken on to make WE still stand strong. I believe that she's very great for that part, but I think she would have been well suited in AEW if they're seeing the girls that I've watched work this weekend in AEW.
No.
And
I feel
here's something I'm going to say that'll blow your mind, dude. When I said it on Carmella's show and with Jeannie, I kind of took them by surprise. But I'm going to tell you something. Sasha Banks is great.
you said it the other night. You complimented her. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, okay. I was here. All right. Well, yeah, I'm really sold on Sasha Banks, man. And
Wow.
I see Stephanie. If Stephanie was AEW bound, I would see that as one great match.
One more final. Oh, we had a couple quick segments. We had Cena and Brock, the video package from the other night. Yawn.
You know, there's a part 2 to this, right?
What do you mean a part 2?
I think they're going to work again.
Oh, I think that's going to be Cena's last match. Is him going over on Brock. I mean, for this time.
I would think Randy Orton.
Randy and Cena?
Yeah.
Nah. How? Why? He's got 4 appearances left before his last match in December.
And what is he going to do? Those 4 appearances, wrestle Brock all 4 appearances?
No, he will show up 3 appearances and cut promos in the ring to build up for that final match.
I don't know. I don't think that would. Well, I don't believe. No, that doesn't sit well either. Okay. I don't think that that's best interest served for John Cena to have him do 3 appearances that are cutting promos in the last match, one match. That's cheating. That's cheating all the little kiddies out of a match.
It is. Maybe he'll wrestle one other match in there, but it's going to be mainly building up and hustle, respect, and loyalty to build up against him and the big bad beast.
Well, he has to wrestle at Crown Jewel.
I don't think he will. That's in 3 weeks.
Yeah, well, I already seen that he's supposed to be listed on the roster for Crown Jewel.
Let me see if I can Google where are his last. All right, here we go. As let me see. Oh, okay. Cena's remaining dates are as followed: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. Crown Jewel, Boston, November 10th, New York City, the 17th, Survivor Series, the 29th, and Saturday night's main event, the 13th of December.
Saturday night main event is supposedly the Brock Lesnar
Right.
rematch. I don't, th- I don't even think that purposely sits well with the fans. It won't sit well with me. Crown Jewel, who's he going to wrestle?
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
Shadow.
So
I
he's got
mean,
to wrestle somebody there.
it's not going to be AJ Styles.
No, no. And then you figure the Raw in Boston and then the following week in New York City are probably just going to be appearances. I bet you he won't work. Survivor Series, he'll work. And Saturday night's main event, which is 2 weeks later. Let me see if this article says. I mean, interesting. I'm very curious what they think they're going to do here.
They're going to bury him the rest of the way. I don't believe they're going to bring him back to beat Brock Lesnar as his last match. That's for sure. That's for sure. And I'm usually right about these things. I know
Mhm.
that Brock Lesnar's got a contract to remain there. He's got a contract to leave and retire. I don't think. I really don't believe that it's in his. He's not going to go out on a high note. I doubt it. And it would be
Hmm.
funny if they gave it to you that way. You know,
Interesting.
the Triple Nose did say there's going to be plenty of surprises.
True.
That would be a surprise to bury their top star, John, or Vince McMahon's top star, John Cena.
Hmm. All right. And the last little backstage segment before the next match was backstage. Stephanie, after she came back from the ring, she was greeted by Nikki Bella and then also by Rhea, congratulating her. In which then the Kabuki Warriors come in and words are exchanged, and then Rhea challenges Asuka to a match later tonight.
Sounds great. I love it anytime Rhea's on. No matter what she does, it's main event Rhea. That's who they should be billing as main event.
Main event,
Um,
mommy.
yeah, main event mommy. That's so yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
like that. And as far as Stephanie goes, now that she has the title, you won't see her. It's hide and seek and backstage
Mm-hmm.
promos for a while then.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, and then we also got to see who's she going to end up facing at Crown Jewel. Is it going to be? Will they keep the belt on Tiffany? Will Jade get it? Will Nia Jax get it? We'll have to wait and see after this Friday's SmackDown.
I believe. I'll tell you what. I think Tiffany's keeping that title. I don't
I
see
do
no.
too.
See, the way I see it is this. Okay, Nia Jax is a better worker than Jade Cargill. I think Jade Cargill and Nia's there to hide Jade Cargill's flaws, and Tiffany knows how to work with both. Knows how to work with Nia a lot better, and Nia's Nia or nor what's her name again? I can't even think of her name. The
Jade
Storm.
Cargill.
Jade Cargill
Cargill.
is winning that match. It's going to be Tiffy time, and yeah, it's going to be Tiffany against Stephanie.
There you go. Gianni says, no shit. ESPN isn't happy. Hello, Jeannie. From Megan and I. Love you and miss you. Eric says, the guy from ESPN looked like a dork. If there's one thing positive about Saturday was seeing those two little anchor players cry. Eric, total heel. Gianni, Megan, notice you had a light on, Johnny. What's the occasion? Ah, that's true. That's true. You're not sitting completely in the dark tonight, Johnny.
No, Eric is home.
Funny.
She made me a cup of tea so I didn't go to fall asleep, and Yeah, she put the light on to help.
It's like Motel 6. She left the light on.
Yeah, man.
All right. Larry says ESPN proved they can see John Cena. Well, it's been a nice run as a jester. Oh, that's funny. Eric says, and Stephanie getting inducted to the Hall of Fame is just a joke.
Listen, what's a bigger joke is her trying to act like she didn't know she was going to be elected. Listen, I've said this before. Her getting this title is the same. It means a lot. Yeah, right. As the same as Paul getting it and all the rest of them. They know they're getting it. It's a popularity contest with the fans. And yeah, if you don't think they know they're getting it, you're kidding yourselves. They're getting an imaginary title. There's no arena, there's no building, there's no brick and mortar, however you want to say it. There's no Hall of Fame. There's some crappy piece of shit ring, just like the crappy piece of shit ring that Cody hid in the toilet somewhere until he had to do this build up to the next piece of crap they're going to shove down your throat. But here's what I want to know. Do you think the Saudis would be mad and probably like maybe possibly shoot up the ring?
Oh, God forbid.
I mean,
God
them sheiks, they were in the Las Vegas, I think, in the top floor that time when they had helicopters shooting up all of Las Vegas. Do you remember that?
At that concert?
Yeah. Yeah, you remember well, right?
Horrifying.
The
horrifying.
Saudi sheiks were on the top floor and they had to get them out of there. And that's where the helicopters came in. The sheiks were meeting with Donald Trump up there at that casino. I forget the name of it, the casino, but I know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
All right, there he is. Magic Mike in the house. What's up, guys? Yeet.
What's happening, Michael?
Gianni says, Dom needs to stop worrying about Finn and concentrate on the IC championship picture, and then go have some chicken nuggets and french fries. Laugh out loud.
Jalapeno poppers.
There you go. There you go. I'd love to see Rusev versus Gunther. Yeah, when's Gunther going to come back? That's what I've been wondering.
Well, supposedly when he does come back, it's going to be Brock and Gunther. Everybody's waiting for that match, and they're going to be getting it.
Michelle says exactly what I said, that could have waited until next year or another 20 years. What's that,
What
Michelle?
is that, Michelle?
Gianni said, I really hope they don't mess this up with Stephanie like they're doing with Penta, because she's fantastic. The only thing that worries me about Stephanie is just her English. Like tonight, hearing her and talking in the ring, she, trying to cut real proper promos is going to be a problem.
You know what? She's been going to school for English, and not for nothing, I think she speaks enough English somewhat better than half the people that are born here that speak Ebonics.
Yeah. Gianni says Randy and John are really close. I'd love to see that, Johnny.
It just may, because he's coming back as a heel. So what are they going to do with him?
Mike says, I worked with Sasha in 2012 in BWO in New Jersey. She's a great person and talent.
Sasha Banks he's referring to, I would imagine. And yeah, after seeing her work in AEW this weekend with Riho, which was one great match, yeah, it's changed my opinion. The girl could work. She's just not about what she did at the WWE, which is suck.
Larry says Cena versus Flair. Loser retires. Ends in double count out. Both lose, both retire. Yeah. Can't put Rick anywhere near a ring.
Listen, you can't put Rick anywhere near alcohol or young pretty girls.
Gianni says, but in regards to Brock, they should have 2 more matches, best out of 3. A worker always should go out on his back.
Whoever
Larry
said that, you're correct, sir.
Gianni. I was just joking because there are always rumors of Flair training and wanting to have another match. I really think it should be Orton or Punk due to their history.
You just might get that. You just might get the Punk one also. Yeah.
Gianni says the MGM Casino. Oh, all right. Let me go back to Michelle. She was referring to Stephanie. So she said about Stephanie, exactly what I said, could have waited until next year or another 20 years. Now it makes sense.
The Stephanie McMahon doesn't belong. First of all, quite seriously, no McMahon belongs in the Hall of Fame. When they own the company, it's not really about them. It's about the workers and the people who helped it. Not about the owners. That's like the head of the music awards. He goes and gives himself an award for giving out awards to the music singers. It just doesn't make sense. But that's just me making sense. How'd that happen? It happens every time and every week we have a show here. You know that, brother. I make more sense than anyone.
Mike said 20 Germans and 20 F5s and goodbye Gunther.
Here's the way I see that going. Who said that, Mike?
Yeah.
Mike, here's the way I see that go, and I see that as a fair match. I don't see Brock disrespecting him in the ring like that. It wouldn't do good to have continuous matches. It kills the ability to have other matches. But then again, here I am again making sense. And yeah, the WWE, I don't think they ever make sense.
It's rare. Okay. And Gianni says, I agree. She doesn't belong. Neither does McMahon's butler or the limo driver. That is in. I think he went in on the first bout. I forget his name. Oh, that's funny.
You know, it's like, truthfully, there's a lot of women that have wrestled in the WWE and deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, even over Undertaker's wife.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, is Mickey James in the Hall of Fame? The girl they fired to give.
I think she is.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
I'm pretty sure she
I'm
is.
surprised at that.
Let me see. No. No, she's not.
Exactly. But yet Stephanie McMahon belongs in here, right?
She's for doing
what? Sucking the ball hairs off of Paul Levesque.
She's being inducted into the TNA Wrestling Hall of Fame October 12th at TNA's Bound for Glory.
That doesn't mean anything. She belongs. If anything, listen, she belongs here way before Sonny.
Mic drop. All right, Michelle says, I think Gunther and Brock would be a banger. Larry says, my coworker wanted to see Cena and Undertaker have an actual match. I said, yeah, maybe 15 years ago. I'm getting old. 15 years ago used to be Lex versus Luger versus Yokozuna. That might have been longer than that. That was more like 25 years ago. Or
there goes a guy that never belonged in the ring.
Who's that? Which one?
Lex Luger. Larry. He's responsible for the death of Miss Elizabeth, that creep.
And Gianni says, yeah, Johnny, that don't make sense. They make dollars. All right.
Sometimes they lose out on them dollars. There's no. Listen, is it really worth the money? Too seriously, when do you have enough? At what point do you say enough's enough?
All right. Jeannie says Stephanie got in before China. The Hall of Fame has always been a joke. Well, yeah, they wouldn't put China in because of the situation with Triple H.
I think they wouldn't put China in for the situation with 1-2-3 Kid.
And Mike says, I love Lex.
My God.
China is in with DX. She should be in herself. Larry said Mickey should be in the WWE Hall of Fame over Tori Wilson. Yeah, Tori Wilson's in there and Mickey's not. That's crazy. All right. So next match, we had Bayley versus Roxanne Perez. Like I said, Bayley seems completely rejuvenated. I think she needed this new, fresh start to her gimmick, this little reboot, repackaging. I thought that her and Roxanne had a really, really nice match. Lyra, though, once she finally did interfere, looked ridiculous and so weak on the outside. It wasn't even needed in the match. It took away from the match. And then at the end, after Bayley goes over and snaps and gets very violent with Roxanne and gets the pin, she then turns on Lyra inside and starts hollering at her, and did have a great line calling her outfit stupid. So,
listen, man, what you should be talking about, that Johnny's right about this Rosie Perez, that they call her the prodigy. She's the prodigy on her back. She's been counting the lights and the ceiling tiles for the last 5 weeks. I'm glad to see it because I'd never seen anything in her. I don't think she's anything close to even lacing the boots of Liv Morgan. I believe she's an afterthought soon as Liv comes back, and it's rightfully so. So to have her job out to Bayley really doesn't mean much to me. And as far as the match being good, it's okay. It's okay. But you don't see it that way because you got goosebumps and your hair stands up on edge because it's Bayley. I get it. I'm not going to speak ill will of your, probably, if you had the chance, she'd be your wife.
oh my God!
I don't know though, because Stephanie Bell here, you're drooling over her, you're tripping, you're fumbling, and as far with Bayley, it's even worse. I don't know, buddy. Your taste in woman is extraordinaire.
Too funny.
That match was a nice little match. I watched.
It was a nice match.
Talking. Is it a great match? No, it's an all right match, and it did its thing. You know, they're pushing Bayley right now, and rightfully so. If I was Bayley and I had to lose to Rosie Perez, I'd be upset too.
Okay,
that's not her name. It's Roxanne Perez. I remembered when you laughed. For real, bro. I think her name is Rosie Perez all the time, and I think Bayley's name is Rosie O'Donnell. I don't know what it is with these Rosies.
It's all coming up roses to me. Next up, we had a quick backstage segment. Cody and Big Jim see each other, and Cody says to him, "How's Jay?" And he's like, "Man, I don't know. Maybe he'd be better if you talk to him." So Cody said, "I'll talk to him. I'll see how he's doing." So let's get back to the comments. Let's get back to the comments because we got a bunch more. All right, here we go. Larry. Why is Sean Waltman a 3-time Hall of Famer?
I wonder why they even put him in there after he fed a girl a shit sandwich. I know who the girl was, and we all know who the girl was, but that doesn't change the fact he still did something like that. He's a diabolical. He's a diabolical creature, a diabolical creature, and he's a scumbag. But yet, he hangs with Shawn. What's his name? Shawn Michaels, and he's best friends with Triple Nose. So that's why he's in there.
All right, Gianni said they made a reference to her as the Hall of Fame a few years ago, and she went in with DX, but I totally agree. She needs to be in by herself, talking about China. Michelle says, amen to that. How about the Midnight Express and Jim Cornette? Yeah, exactly. Greatest tag team of all time, maybe.
I agree with that, man. I agree with that. The greatest tag team of all time. Second to right now, I'll tell you why. You want to see a tag team? Young Bucks.
Magic Mike says WWE should have a physical Hall of Fame in Connecticut. Been saying it for years. You know what? I was saying 6 months ago, why don't they take the old fucking offices in Stamford and create that into a Hall of Fame? Is beyond me. Beyond me. Stupid.
They sold it for a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Vince had to pay a lot of people off.
Gianni says, I think the real reason why Mickey is not in there is because she did porn before going into wrestling. Don't ask me how I know that. Laugh out loud.
Who has tape of that? I would love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, there was quite a few girls who did some things before or whatever, or even during. Larry says, I retract my previous comment. I thought he was in as himself too. Nope, just part as DX and NWO. I guess that means about 1, 2, 3 or whatever. X-Pac.
1, 2, 3 dirtbag.
Mike says, don't forget you have to be good with the WWE if you want to go into WWE Hall of Fame. Yeah, exactly.
You mean you got to be a suck up like the Undertaker? What do you want, boss?
Magic Mike says, I'm looking forward to the Crown Jewel.
Oh my God, Mike, were you happy with WrestlePalooza? I have to know that.
I don't want to know. Gianni said, "Hey, I like me some Bailey. Leave Bailey alone." Laugh out loud.
I seen her in a picture. Listen, Gianni, I seen her in a bikini. I threw up.
Oh, come on.
No, I really did.
Oh.
Yes, Erica. Erica showed me. My eyes started watering. My nose started running like crazy, and I vomited all over, right in the Acme, in the aisle with the magazines.
Oh my God. Magic Mike said Sean is only in once with DX, and he also said, yes, he did like WrestlePalooza.
Mike. I don't know what you. I don't know what you like about it. I don't know what you like about it. Okay.
And he says he loves Pac. Gianni says, hey, Rosie Perez versus Rosie O'Donnell to next PLE. Book it. John likes some rosy palms, huh? Laugh out loud. Let me see. Gianni says Jim Cornette, Midnight Express are in the Hall of Fame. Oh, okay. Beautiful. They did something right. Larry says, Rosie, give me your answer true. Let's see. Gianni saw her in a bikini, and it was red.
It was that time in the month.
And Magic Mike says, I reviewed it today, and I gave it an A+. He loved it.
Well, Mike, you're the only one that's given it an A+, and I really find it boggling No, actually, I don't find it boggling that you would give a WWE card an A plus. I think you're what's wrong with the fans of WWE. You'll accept anything they give you.
Yeah, I mean, I said earlier in the show before Mike came on, I think Mike was the only person have seen say anything positive about the show.
He's looking for a job at the WE in the near future, and he knows that the way the government's working nowadays, anything you say on the internet might get you locked up.
Larry says Kid is in with NWO too. For some reason, they included him with Hogan, Hall, and Nash.
Oh boy, man! He probably held Hogan's gimmick bag in the early days of his career because somebody had to hold all the perks. Did you know
Gianni,
that, Mike? That your hero was a perk head?
Gianni's laughing like crazy that time of the month. Michelle says, "Oh my God, Mike needs to watch some Mid Atlantic and Mid South wrestling because Scamapalooza was garbage."
No, Mike. Let me explain something to you, Michelle. Quite seriously, Mike doesn't know what wrestling is. He's one of them guys that's from the Northeast area that only knows the WE. He's never really experienced Japan cards and thought they were good. He's never experienced independent wrestling and thought it was any good. He's a WWE apologist. He's one of those guys.
Gianni says Mike is definitely drinking the WWE Kool-Aid. Sorry, brother, but I love you. And Michelle says he
I
helped
like
Hogan to
Mike
blow
too.
up.
I'm sorry. What was that about the blow up doll? I'm sorry, Chubb.
I'm
I just don't want you
talking
to think I don't like him.
talking about I guess X-Pac. He held Hogan's blow up doll.
Yeah, and I bet he used to smell his jockstrap too.
And Mike says not true, Johnny.
What's not true, Mike?
I guess that oh, he says you're way off base. Probably thinking that he's never seen or watched New Japan or any of that stuff.
Oh, okay, okay.
All right.
All right. Well, I may be wrong about that, but I know you're an apologist for the WWF or WE. If you think the garbage they gave you Saturday was any good, you're really kidding yourself. I'm sorry, Michael.
Next up, we had JD McDonough taking on Rusev, which was an absolute phenomenal match. Even though I'll say it again, it kills me to see one half of the tag team champions in a singles match again, that we don't get to experience the tag team champions. And I don't think they've worked a match in 8 weeks. And
Finn Balor may be hurt.
I was thinking that as I was saying this, but he did come out and save JD at the end at the hands of Rusev.
Yes,
Like
he
I said,
did.
great match. It's going to be a really, really fun ride next week with Dirty Dom taking on Rusev. Can't wait to see how this turns out, which way they're going to go with it. And can we get more of Finn and JD, please? Can we get some tag matches? Can we get more of those guys?
I think Dom. I think next week is where the turn starts to really get shown.
Yeah, because you can see they're going to break them off.
They're definitely going to break Dom away from them, and it seems like next week it may happen. You know what else may happen? Just very, very may well happen. Liv comes back.
Yeah. I saw actually a clip this morning that supposedly she ran in and saved Dom. but I don't
Well,
know
that
where.
may be old. That may be old
Yeah,
because
that's
the
what I
stuff
thought.
nowadays, and then there's AI. You know, there's
Yeah,
a thousand. There's really good AI nowadays.
exactly. And then, right, real quick, we had a couple quick segments. We had Cody backstage goes to talk to Jay, gives him a little pep talk. Jay says he's okay. He's doing what he's got to do, Oos. It's kind of weird seeing Cody calling everybody Oos as well. A lot of Ooses going around.
A lot of this is going around. First of all, wait a minute. We didn't finish the JD segment deal.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You trying to rush me out of here? I think JD is a very, very, very great talent for that faction right there. I think JD will be stuck in the middle of Finn Balor and Dom. That's for sure. It looks like that's going that way because Finn Finn is a Finn is seems to always have a problem with someone. He seems to like to stir the pot. He even did it with Rhea. Do you
Yeah.
remember that? He did it with Liv. He did it with this Rosie Perez when she first came in. And Dom turning next week on him would be a great thing to keep a lot of interest in the team since they don't do anything tag-wise. And it's a shame because as a tag team, they really have a lot of potential.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Could you imagine a match with them and the Usos? And I said the Usos, the only thing they did good was tag team wrestling before they even put them together. And as heels, it would be great. And it would be great to even see maybe the whole fraction turn to be faces.
Yeah, like okay, valid point. Very good point that you're starting to touch on too. Why are we stuck seeing like it's obvious now they put the Usos back together. In their eyes, they have to make this they say this every time we see them together that the Usos are the greatest tag team ever. The commentators put them over as the greatest tag team ever. So why is not the greatest tag team ever and what are they 15-time tag team champions not going for the belts? And why are we not getting the pleasure to see these amazing matches with Finn and JD against the Usos?
I don't know, but it's wasted years of their best age behind them.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Agreed. Agreed.
they're at the height of their careers. They should be being used, like you just said. The Usos are young guys for being around a long time, also.
Mm-hmm.
So you like you said, they're 15-time champions and the greatest tag team, as they say. It'd be great to see them involved in major angles, helping talent get over into tag team division. Since the WE and tag team wrestling, it's like they don't exist. Only the belts do.
That's it. Then we had another segment backstage with Asuka again with Io. This whole thing going round and round, blah blah blah. With which was hysterical. And left with Io making this face. Io and Kari both making these faces like they were in such pain and holding in taking a dump. It was it was hysterical and horrifying at the same time. Asuka's really putting the scare into everybody. And then we had another segment before the next match. L.A. Knight, yeah. Talking about Jey Uso.
You couldn't give me a minute to talk about Asuka.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Asuka's tactics remind me of the great Moolah.
That's funny.
She's running a strong arm on the international
on the ladies.
She's an international mafiosa for the Japanese Yakuza or the Chinese Yakuza.
Oh my god.
She's a hit woman, man.
That's
I like
hysterical.
Asuka, man. I really like Asuka as a wrestler. She's one of the best. I think she's 10
Yeah.
times better than Bailey. That's for sure. I like to see her hit Bailey so hard the purple dye go flying off.
Oh my God. But yeah, so LA Knight talking about
What
the
a
thing with
bunch of
Jay and the other
garbage.
night. I'm so sick of this whole stupid thing. Get me off of the fucking LA Knight
LA Knight reminds you
merry-go-round.
of LA Knight reminds me of a huckster that sells fruit on the streets in the cheapest parts of the neighborhoods, where there's they put the fruit on the truck and they drive up and down the streets. I got bananas, I got oranges, yeah. I got tomatoes, yeah. I got cantaloupes, yeah. Two for $1, yeah. That's this
Oh,
dude's
it's
a
hysterical.
moron. He is a buffoon. He wrestled with his vest on. Could we get any fucking more lamer? Seriously, this dude is a reject. The big one of the biggest rejects. He calls himself a top star. Listen, dude, you're 40 years old. Grow up. Buy yourself a shirt with sleeves on it. Your arms aren't big. I used to have 23-inch biceps when I was in my best, when I won the Mr. New Jersey and when I won the Mr. Pennsylvania. Yeah. Put a shirt on, kid. You look immature. You look as dumb as Hulk Hogan wearing a do-rag in a restaurant.
He to me, I actually I said to Coco, I said he always reminds me like he dipped his fucking head in a bag of Coke because his eyes he never blinks and they're busting out of his head like Marty Feldman. Like he's like fucking wired. He's on. He's like
Yeah, he's
oh,
intense. You know what? Now I'm going to say this because I witnessed it. I witnessed Randy Savage snort cocaine. Okay, but anyway, that's a different story. He reminds me of Randy Savage when he would snort cocaine. He would walk around the room going, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah." And I'm not joking you, man. I'm not joking you. Randy Savage lived that part, but that's what he reminds me of. He has to take a shit. You know what I mean? He's squeezing his ass cheeks really, really tight because if he doesn't go, yeah, he might get the Hershey squirts.
oh my God. Uh let's see.
What an idiot.
Okay, well, here's an interesting, good question though too. Gianni wants to know. I'd love to know why Mike thinks WWE is so good.
Because he's a stooge. He works with Chief J Strongbow.
Larry says if the Kool-Aid were watermelon or lime flavor, I'd be drinking it too. It's hot and I'm thirsty. Oh, that was fucking great, Larry. Oh
Having a
shit.
funny laugh.
Gianni says something tells me that Finn's ribs are fucked up.
Yeah, I think he may be as diabolical as the Dynamite Kid. He shit in what is it? Dynamite Kid. He shit in I forget I think it was the Rougeau's boots. And the Rougeau put his foot in his boot and it was full of shit. And Jacques went back here and beat the fucking shit out of him and broke his teeth out of his mouth. I think that's what way Finn is. He's that kind of guy with the ribs.
Mm.
Sort of like Mr. Fuji. He made special brownies. Did I ever tell you about Mr. Fuji special brownies?
I heard.
He shit in a box. He shit and he cut his shit into little squares and he put it in a Whitman chocolate box. And
Oh my God.
he would offer it to all the jobbers.
Oh God. Oh, Magic Mike says when I was on Bay's Network, I had a 3-hour show and I talked WWE, New Japan, had lots of good guests, and I've seen every promotion. Plus, I love and support indie because I'm one of the boys. Yeah, I mean, look, Mike is he truly loves the business. I'm not denying that. Always has. I've always since day one I've known him. Big
Well, we're
supporter of the
not
business.
asking him that. We're asking him what he likes about the WE. He still didn't answer that. It isn't that you're a wrestling fan, because if you were a wrestling fan, you wouldn't be watching WWE. Wrestling fans are not geared to what the WWE is set for. They tell you that if you're a wrestling fan, don't come here. Usos are
Uh,
better than the Legion of Doom, Larry. I think so. I really do, because Legion of Doom, after they hit their moves, they were blowed up and they were big bullies to top it off. They beat up anybody that didn't want to do what they wanted them to do, that wasn't on level with them, or who they thought was level with them. Um, yeah, they didn't have that many moves. They were not professional wrestlers. They were thugs.
Larry says Usos are 8-time WWE Tag Team Champions.
And they're way better wrestlers. And I know super kicks are what they've been prone down to, but quite seriously, they were able to wrestle great at one time. I've seen it.
Michelle says LA Trash Man and the Hulkster laugh out loud. He sucks. Gianni said, "That's right, Johnny. Grow up." Yeah. Gianni says he looks like he's getting it from behind by a John Cena dildo when he makes that face. Jesus Christ. Oh God. Larry said, "I only found LA Knight entertaining when he and Cameron Grimes were feuding over the $1 million championship." I don't even know who that is. Who's Cameron Grimes?
I think that's when he was on the independent circuit. I'm not
Hmm.
positive to that, but yeah, well, this gimmick has him really being a clown. If anybody can't see that he's just a clown, you know, I don't know.
Gianni said he had a roll of quarters when he was beating his head in. Michelle says, "I wonder if the WWE Kool-Aid has Wheatley American vodka." Oh
That's
shit!
why Mike. That's why Mike's in love with them. It's the weekly vodka.
Larry says, "Hey, Mr. Fuji, is it Japanese to put corn in the brownies?" Oh man. Mike said, "I love the WWE because of the talent and the storylines." I mean, there's talent, but the storylines have been bad.
Honey, are you awake? Oh no, my phone is going dead, man. I gotta find a charger, and yeah, I gotta find a charger. Yeah.
uh, Michelle said, "Look what the LA did to LOD did to JJ Dillon in War Games. Match broke his shoulder at one move." Yeah, right. Oh,
And they didn't apologize for it either.
oh my God. Gianni said it was an NXT for the $1 million title. Gotcha. Cameron Grimes is Trevor Lee. The $1 million feud was in NXT. I never really watched NXT. I've only watched it a couple times ever.
I caught it NXT quite a few times, and a few times they were really, really good. But here's the thing that I don't understand, and I still find it hard to believe that you could be a superstar in NXT, come to the WE, and be jobbed out, and your career be finished in a matter of 3 weeks.
Well, I mean, it's like any other entertainment business. You could be the Heisman Trophy winner in college football. Go to the NFL, and after week one of your rookie year, you're done. You never make it any higher.
You may have to put up an advertisement while I run to get a charger. First of all, I don't even know where a charger bees, but I got to get a charger here.
All right, we'll get a
Larry,
charger. I'm gonna talk about the crap match of Jay versus LA Knight. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
you really are, because I watched it while we were
do
talking. I've been watching. I'm telling
you
you,
really
we're
want
on
to watch?
Oscar. We're on Oscar. Give me a second.
That's why I want to skip ahead. I want to get to that match.
Well, give me a second, because I'm watching Rhea. I love her. Oh, shit, man. I'm finding it in his house.
we get to hear Johnny talking to himself. All right, let me mark off where we're at so I can get back to that for Johnny. All right, but Jay versus LA Knight. I mean, honestly, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of this whole situation between the two. I don't care. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to be bothered with it. And I feel like it is a bother. I don't like what they're doing with Jay with this whole angle and everything. And what do we get? We got the Vision ran in, which actually in turn helped Jay get the pin over LA Knight, and he left, and Jimmy came in to save LA Knight from the Vision, and Jay left, said goodbye, not helping.
Oh, my knee. Oh, Christ. Oh, okay. With that angle there, could I tell you what I say? I see a writing division that's up in the air and they don't know what they're doing. They're throwing shit on the wall and they're seeing what bites. They don't know what they're doing with LA Knight, and bringing him the Raw may have been, they thought it was a great move, and now it's like, what do we do with him from here? I don't get it. It's as bad as Sami Zayn getting the United States title. And here's something here's a spoiler alert for 2026. I hate to break it to everyone. Sami Zayn is getting the world title.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
No, I'm not surprised. I'm not bullshitting you. Sami Zayn is definitely getting it, and he'd probably get Brock Lesnar to do the job for him, which I don't understand how they're going to do this, because Brock's supposed to be getting the title from Seth. Yeah, I hate to be giving you all these spoiler alerts and whatnots, and maybe there should be a flasher. Somehow, Brock is supposed to be getting that world title, and that was part of the deal for him to even come back. They were giving him a strap, and yeah.
Interesting.
I was the first to tell you about Brock even coming back. So listen, I'm being the first to tell you right now, Brock is definitely getting a world title. I'm not sure that they're going to give him the Universal title, because I heard they were going to phase out the Universal title altogether. Or one of the titles was getting phased out, the heavyweight title or the world, the Universal. They were going to merge them together.
Good. They should. So sick of seeing two fucking belts of everything.
And so was everybody else, because it's so confusing. It's like I said, you get so many belts. Which ones really matter?
Exactly.
The mid-card titles mean more than the world titles.
Yeah, the women's intercontinental belt, I think, is the most important belt in the WWE anymore.
Yeah, well, dude, I don't understand how Becky's the best wrestler of the year when I'll bet Rhea Ripley's the best.
Yeah, but Sports Illustrated said it.
I don't give a shit what Sports Illustrated. What Sports Illustrated could suck Johnny HotBody's left nut, right nut, and whatever nut other than my nut they could get, because Rhea Ripley's the greatest thing. She's the number one attraction. She sells out, and she's smoking hot.
All right, well, let's lead up to that. We then had the backstage segment, Seth and Becky backstage.
How many backstage? Let me. There's another.
Almost as many as commercials.
All right. Well, here's the thing. I've laid out this to you before. All right. You got over 20 minutes, 25 minutes total of backstage segments in time. You
Mm-hmm.
have over an hour worth of commercials in time.
Mm-hmm.
What are you actually getting for your money?
I wish I could sit there with a stopwatch and time the actual.
I'll tell you what, I'll do it. I'll
It's
do it.
like it's like I'll never forget. I saw on a show when I was young, like in the '80s. I was like maybe not even a teenager. Maybe I was a teenager, but it was like 60 Minutes or something. And they did a thing. They did just that with a football game. And they said out of a 3.5 hour game on TV,
Yes.
there's actually 12 from the start of the play to the end of the play. It's like 12, 13 minutes of actual action you're watching.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely true. Absolutely true. And I'm the first one to break it down. Listen, there's been a lot of firsts with Johnny HotBody, Chubby Dudley first, respectively, and breaking Raw and breaking these recaps down. We're the first to tell you when things are going to happen. We're the first to break it that the commercial count was 112. When does anybody see what Johnny's been putting out for you guys? And I'm about to do what you asked. I'm going to find out how much actual wrestling time is spent in the program. The hell with the commercial time, because you can figure that out once you figure out how much actual wrestling is going on. It'd be more justified to tell you that.
And it's ridiculous too that I was saying, me and Coco were talking tonight about this because of so many commercials. You can't
Water.
stay tuned in to the matches. You lose your focus because you're watching a match. You get the opening spot and it goes into a commercial for 3 minutes, and then it comes back and you'll get 2, 3 minutes of action and back to another round of commercials. It's like it's very hard to keep in tune with the show.
And they did that on the pay-per-view too. And it's funny that no one else is seeing these things that we're pulling up to them. It's really, really funny. I'll tell you what else is pretty spectacular, and it didn't happen in the WWE. I watch AEW. The time goes by so quick. I say it's over already. The last time I did that was when I watched the UWF back in the day, when Bill Watts would have those crazy things with Hacksaw, uh, Butch Reed, and what's his name, Dr. Death, Steve
Hmm.
Williams, and the
Hmm.
matches were always great, and the time would go by so damn quick, and that's what happens with AEW, and it's mainly all matches. Granted, they do have commercials, nowhere near the amount that these people are putting on in the WE, that's for sure, and the wrestling time, it's more wrestling than backstage, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. All right, so we had backstage Seth and Becky, and Seth was just staring at the watch, lost in space that Cody gave him, and Becky was pacing back and forth, trying to talk him up and give him a big pep talk. Um, Stupid, boring, didn't care. Then we had Rhea and Io backstage, and the whole dynamic between Rhea and Io, it's almost like they're a couple. And I've been saying this for like 2 months now. It's like they're like secret lovers. And they haven't come out and exposed that they're actually lovers the way Asuka's acting over this whole thing. But Io begs Rhea not to fight Asuka. Um, yeah, I don't know. And then we see another video, but this time it's discussing and hyping up the amazing trios, the triple Grande Americanos, had the official announcement of the Los Trios Americanos that we now have. Um, then we have Maxine Dupree talking to Adam Pierce, begging for a chance. Can we take Maxine Dupree, trade her to NXT, and give us Sol Roca? I mean,
Oh
let's
my God. How about you
you know,
put Maxine Dupree and Sol Ruka in a tag team? Holy
no,
moly. Yeah, no?
no, no,
You're missing
no.
the boat on that one. I got to get pokey in the eye. Hold on. Eh.
And then after that, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee come walking in to talk with Pierce about wanting a tag match against the Los Americanos, which I guess we'll be seeing next week. And then we go into our main event match. Let's get into our comments before we discuss that main event match. Mike Ferrara talks about says Hulkamania beer and Hulkamania lives forever.
I heard Hulk Hogan's image is going to be put on all Percocets for now on.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Gianni says, I have an LA Knight autograph photo. I'd rather have a Chubby Dudley and Johnny HotBody autograph photo. Just saying. Yeah, me and Johnny, whenever we're together again, we got to get like pictures done and get promo pictures done.
You know what else I heard? That the fine makers of Percocet coming from Israel are going to change the colors from plain yellow to yellow and red to honor Hulk Hogan. So now you could get your perks in the official Hulk Hogan color.
Oh, boy.
Signed and autographed.
Magic Mike says, I've been watching NXT from the start. Gianni says, I'm tired of it. Yeah. Larry says, you could be a great actor.
What are you tired of more, yeah or ye?
Yeah. You could be a great actor and then get a job on a sitcom. It doesn't do well, and nobody wants to see you because you're just Dick Benderson from the Magic Bubble show. Oh, shit. Larry's on fire tonight, boy. Michelle says Jay needs to build a bridge and get over the crap with LA Garbage Man. Gianni says LA Knight was so much better in TNA. Gianni also says they should bring LA Knight's wife in, bring his wife in as the Vallejo boost ratings. Trust me. Larry says, who wouldn't want a Chubby Dudley and Johnny HotBody signed photo? See that, Johnny? How about that? Gianni says it's like 32 minutes of wrestling. Is that with or without commercials? Gianni says, I'm getting Johnny to stop watching a pitch count for Christmas. Larry says, one match gets 10 commercials in 5 segments. It does. It really does. Mike says, I must pay for no commercials because I never see any. Yeah, dude, you must be, because it's every 3 minutes literally is a three-minute set of commercials. They interrupt every match 2 or 3 times with commercial breaks. Mike says, I watch AEW too, and they have good talent too.
Hey, Mike, I do a show on Sundays with Carmella. What channel? What's the name of that YouTube channel?
Carmella's Wrestling Radio Relived.
I do a thing on Sunday mornings, and we review all AEW.
Yeah, Carmella sent me an invite to hop on with you guys yesterday, and when I finally woke up, I looked. She sent it to me like 8 o'clock my time in the morning. I'm like, I saw it. It was like 11 a.m. my time.
Yeah, we did it at 9:30 in the morning, and it went up, I believe, by 11.
I was still in bed. I sent her a message. I'm like, I'm still in bed. Plus, I didn't watch it. So.
Absolutely told her you would be sleeping. I went, he works now.
Especially working nights. I mean, last night was an early night. I was out by midnight, but usually I'm not done till like 1, 2, or in the morning or whatever. By the time I get home, I'm fucking wired and I can't go to sleep till 3:30. Michelle says, I just wanted someone to get Becky a muscle. Me too. Gianni says, regards to EO and Rhea, I mean, come on. Let's get the dry up in already. Enough's enough. That's it. Game over. Just leave it on that. I don't even want to read any more comments the rest of the night. I just want to leave that one up.
He's out of his mind, isn't he?
Mike says, if you remember, wrestling was always on ESPN with AWA, GWF, WWE being on ESPN makes sense.
Has he ever watched Chinese porn? It sucks.
A whole lot of bukkake going on.
Yeah.
Gianni says,
They blur out. They blur out everything.
I'm tired of both yeah and yeet. And Michelle says, that's why I'm allergic to Percocet, because Hulk Hogan's DNA is in them. And yes, Chubby Dudley and Johnny HotBody 8x10s. I definitely get one of the handsomest. Oh, too funny. I got to go back and put Gianni's comment back up just for the rest of the show. There we go. All right, we get into the main event finally. Asuka and Rhea, and seriously, what a fucking match, main event match these two had. And I right there, as I was watching it, I said, this has probably been a big part of the problem the last PLEs. The last 2 or 3, I don't think we've had Rhea Ripley on them. You know, when Rhea's on, she always delivers. Great freaking match tonight. Her and Asuka fucking tore it up. I would love to watch them in a program, and fucking let's see them on the next 5 fucking PLEs. Just tear it down.
Wouldn't you like to see them wrestle naked, or at least in coleslaw?
Nah.
No, you won't want to see them in coleslaw.
Definitely not Asuka. Rhea, if you haven't noticed, she's dropped like a ton of weight over the last couple months.
Yes, she has. I've noticed that. Maybe that's why you haven't been seeing her either on TV. Maybe something's wrong. Something's been going around. Who knows? Yeah. Maybe there's somebody put bukkake in the punch.
Oh God. But great freaking great match. It ended a la old school with the mist from Asuka. I got to say too. I mean, I've seen people misting people for 40 years now, and that was the most missed. I mean, Rhea's face and whole upper chest was completely engulfed with the green mist. And actually, at the end, as they were going off air, if you noticed, they were showing her face. She had it all in her teeth and everything.
It looked like she just got done doing a porno, like with Peter North and Ron Jeremy, and
oh my God,
yeah, she had it all over her plate, all over the place. Now let's be for real here. Match of the night, yeah, no wonder that, it's like I said, the women carry this organization. From if it isn't Asuka and Rhea, it's Io Sky and Liv Morgan. You can't go wrong. Even Becky Lynch. I know she's annoying as hell, but let me tell you, Becky is one hell of a worker for real. And everyone knows this. The women are what's keeping the WE alive.
You know, honestly, too, and it's definitely the last 2, maybe even last 3. I can't remember offhand, but it's been lacking the women. They've only been given like the women 1 out of the 5 or 6 matches. And I think Rhea always brings it home and delivers fucking tremendous matches that bring up the elevation of the whole show. So, and we've seen her with Io deliver matches that have just fucking left my mouth on the floor. And I called this a few weeks ago. You're going to see a program with the Kabuki Warriors and Io and Rhea now, and I think we're going to get a tremendous round of fucking tag matches that are going to blow the roof off the places. So this is going to be a good thing.
Here's the question: if you take that match off the card
tonight, you mean?
Yeah, if you take that match off the card tonight, is it any better than the any better than Saturday's debacle?
Yeah, I thought tonight's show was a really super solid show. And okay,
all right.
I feel I know you disagree, but I felt the opening 6-man was phenomenal. I thought it was great fucking. I thought the opening 6-man blew away anything that happened Saturday night. I thought the match with Rusev and JD, again, delivered. Super above average, way below average, super solid, great match. And then you top it off with the Rhea and Asuka match. I mean, that fucking match of the night, and without a doubt, elevated the whole show even more. So tonight's fucking show blew away Saturday because nothing Saturday was I as good as the Stephanie Io match was. I still felt it wasn't great. I thought it underdelivered, and I thought I want another round with those two. I want to see another round of what they can do. I thought it underdelivered.
Do you think it was an over expectation of wanting something to happen because it was hyped as something big was going to happen that made it such a great letdown and makes tonight's show a Raw, a show that doesn't mean anything, a Raw outdoing a pay-per-view?
I mean, maybe, but like I said at the beginning of the show, I felt watching Saturday night, I felt like nobody's heart was in it from top to bottom. Like the show, the production, announcing, nothing seemed like it was an extravaganza. Like when they made that debut on Netflix, it was A plus plus extravaganza. They didn't fucking hold back nothing. They pulled out all the stops and they tried to fucking do it in what they thought they were doing on Saturday night. And as ESPN said, it fell really fucking short, man. They fucked up.
Well, I don't think the Netflix first show was any better than anything else. I, dude, I don't know. Maybe you're forgetting it. Maybe I'm forgetting it. Maybe I'm seeing things a lot differently. But I think the WE has sucked since we've been doing these reviews of them. I haven't had a show that made me, I haven't had one match that's made me stand up the way the match with Okada, the Rainmaker, and Dorada, Masca Dorada was this weekend on AEW. That was one of the most phenomenal matches I've seen in such a long time, where Dorada, Masca Dorada is as great as the Rainmaker, and the difference in the height was amazing, and yet it was a spectacular three-man match. And there was spot after moves, finishes, false finishes. It was everything you could ever want in a match. The only
Are
thing that was
those
missing was blood from that match,
are
and the
those
blood was from MJF and Mark Briscoe. They had one hell of a bloody match.
are any of those matches on YouTube that I can go back and watch? Do you know?
You might be able to get the highlights of AEW. The AEW puts 2 minute vignettes up on YouTube. That's all they give you.
That's all right.
And in between, every now and then, they have matches from the past. But you give it 3 weeks, it may go up on YouTube.
Right,
Uh,
right.
yeah, but I think if you have the app, you may be able to watch the show anytime you want on the app. I think that's what Jeannie and Carmella were saying. If I'm, hearing them correctly.
Right. All right, let me see here. Larry says that's work life. You're tired at work, but as soon as you get home, it's like somebody injects you with a heavy dose of caffeine. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I go into work and I usually start off my show I do at night at work at 3 or 4 p.m. and I have a cup of coffee and it doesn't kick in until I get home fucking 12 hours later. Michelle says there were no surprises and nothing climatic. You think they would do that for a premiere on ESPN? Yeah, exactly. That was the thing. Like there was nothing climactic. None of the finishes were climatic. Nothing. 0, 0, 0. That's what I'm saying. That opening match tonight was way more climatic than anything that happened Saturday night.
Well, maybe all the backlash they're getting somebody else is getting yelled at, and the talent's feeling the brunt of it, and now they're having to work double load.
Gianni said the old episodes are on Max. Yeah, I don't have Max. You can watch highlights of All Out on AEW's Facebook page. Okay. I actually had the first year of AEW on DVD, every episode, pay-per-view. That stuff is great. That's so. I guess they do. I was just going to say, do they actually sell DVDs? Is that stuff? I mean, I know Joel did the whole thing, and some people still do it. I
Yeah,
know.
they do it.
Does WWE still sell DVDs like of current product?
Coliseum. Remember that Coliseum?
Coliseum Video. Yeah, of course. Of course. I used to have a big collection of those. So, all right. Well, there you go. There's the wrap up for tonight's Raw. Next week, we got, what do we got? Bailey's taking on Raquel. Rusev versus Dirty Dom. There was another match day now. Oh, the Usos taking on the Bronze. So we already have three matches announced next week, and that's basically the whole show because the rest of it's just going to be vignettes, so and commercials.
I was just going to say to you, they just gave you the whole show. There's nothing. There's nothing that they could give you. Look, man. There's nothing that they're giving me that's really entertaining anymore. As far as the wrestling goes, they never were about the wrestling. Quite seriously, I used to fall asleep when I was a kid whenever Bruno wrestled. He sucked, and that's my opinion, and I'm entitled to. He was about as exciting to watch as Paint. I'm not a Bruno guy, never was, and I wasn't even a Ric Flair guy. So, it's neither here nor there. Some of the worst wrestlers are the champions. Quite truthfully,
just kind of works out that way. Mike says, "Very good show. You guys do a great job." Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Mike.
Does that put us in the same category as WWE then, or?
Oh, please, man, just take the compliment. Don't question it.
Gianni says, "Wow, Johnny, is that about his comments about San Martino? Johnny being the paisan."
Listen. I don't have to think what everybody else thinks to be a fan of wrestling now, do I? For me, the best champion the WWE had in them days was superstar Billy Graham. I think he was ahead of his time. Everybody copied his likeness, his image, and his style, regardless of what you may think about him. Okay, he was someone that was a great wrestler back then.
There you go.
Even Greg the Hammer Valentine back in the day when he was young, he was one hell of a wrestler. I'll tell you, one of the best matches I've ever seen was him with Ric Flair.
Wow.
Yeah. Even Greg Valentine against Rowdy Piper. You couldn't go wrong back in the day with a Greg the Hammer Valentine match, especially in the NWA. And believe me, it wasn't Bruno Sammartino that was doing what those guys were doing. That's for sure. He was Hollywood Bruno, which is what WWE is. It's not professional wrestling. They are not professional wrestling.
Wow. All right. On that note, I'm going to wrap up, close it off for the night. Johnny, I love you, bro.
Love you too, Chubby. Always a pleasure. Thank you, fans that are watching. hit the like button and subscribe. I never thought I'd say that, but somehow the algorithm's got to catch up to us, bro.
Yeah,
And
right.
hitting the like button, wake the children, phone the neighbors, tell everybody. You know how it goes, man.
See, that's the
Yeah.
thing. We're like superstar Billy Graham. We are ahead of our time, and everybody wants to be like us.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, there's a lot of people nowadays that are starting to uh, we're disclosing the back end of wrestling. They're calling it breaking down the fourth door or the fourth wall. You and I have been telling it like it is since we've been doing this. There was no wall for us to break through. We walked in, kicked the damn door open, and said, "We're here, mother effer. Now what?"
There you go. How
The
about
hell
that?
with listen, and I'm going to say this and mean it. The hell with James Romero. The hell with WrestleMania, Wrestle Catholic. Any of these people that have these outstanding numbers of subscribers, they're bought and paid for. The comments are usually bought and paid for. You could buy them. You could absolutely buy all that in a bag of donuts in this world today. We're the ones that are telling the truth. You can tell by the numbers. We're not popular because no one wants to hear the truth. Here's something. I was blackballed from this business. I go to a convention. Nobody stood near me.
See, you should have stood by me. See that? See that? Interesting. All right. On that note, hey everybody, I love you all. You guys fucking rock. And
Peace out.
we'll be back next Monday. Yeah. Peace
Yeah,
out.
peace and love. Peace and love.